Hello and welcome to Energy and You, the weekly show that brings you developments within the energy sector with a focus on the activities of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company, NNPC Limited. I'm Egosa Igumbo. Tonight, we focus on the 2024 CERAWeek, an annual energy industry conference hosted by S&P Global, where top global energy experts converged on Houston, Texas, United States of America for the 42nd edition. We'll look at Nigeria's participation at the Global Energy Conference, where NNPC Limited's Group Chief Executive Officer, Mele Kyari, made a strong case for a differentiated energy transition for Africa. We'll also bring you details of other key issues discussed by the Nigerian delegates at the conference. And back here in Nigeria, the growing calls for a futuristic outlook on gas utilization. Details of these and more in a moment. Please join us again. Thanks for staying with us. First, let's bring you trending news developments within the global energy space this week. Oil prices rose in early Asian trade on Monday over concerns on tighter global supply brought about by escalating conflicts in the Middle East and the war between Russia and Ukraine. A shrinking U.S. rig count has also added to the upward price pressure. Brent crude futures climbed 52 cents to $85.95 a barrel. China Petroleum and Chemical Corporation's new tab, Sinopec, has reported a 9.9% decline in 2023 net profit, weighed by falling oil and gas prices, but supported by recovering fuel demand. The world's largest oil refiner by capacity posted net income of $8.37 billion based on China's accounting standards in a filing to the Shanghai Stock Exchange. Iraq's oil ministry says foreign companies operating in Iraqi Kurdistan are partly responsible for the delay in resumption of crude exports from the region. The ministry said foreign companies, alongside the Iraqi Kurdish authorities, have so far not submitted contracts to the Federal Oil Ministry to revise them and issue new contracts that are in accordance with the Constitution and the law. Nigeria's Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, has restated the federal government's plan to increase electricity generation from 3,500 megawatts to 6,500 megawatts within the next 3 to 6 months. Adelabu said the aim was to improve power supply nationwide to meet the growing energy demands. The Nigerian Association of Small-Scale Industrialists has signed a Green Industrialization Partnership Memorandum of Understanding with Global Energy Limited. President of the association, Dr. Solomon Vongfa, said the need to have a sustainable, affordable energy and safe source of livelihood for members of the association informed the embrace of the green energy model. The 2024 CERAWeek took place in Houston, Texas, United States, from the 18th to the 22nd of March 2024. NNPC Limited was led to the annual energy event by the group CEO, Mele Kyari, along with other top management staff of the company who participated in different dialogues and panel sessions. The forum provided them an opportunity to speak on a number of the company's initiatives to address contemporary challenges and developments in the Nigerian energy industry.
Answering questions during a leadership dialogue, the Group CEO of NNPC Limited expressed his support for energy transition, but stated unequivocally that Africa lacks adequate access to energy and therefore called for a different approach in addressing energy transition in the continent because the situations between Africa and the developed Western nations are different. According to him, while the developed nations have sufficient energy and are contending with environmental issues, African nations are still contending with energy poverty and security and also contribute only 3% to global greenhouse gas emissions.
By geography, there are differentiation of situations, clearly by geography. In some countries, many developing countries, and but more so in sub-Saharan Africa, we're actually dealing with energy availability, not transition. And energy availability clearly speaks to energy security. This is very common. You all have seen all the challenges that's thrown up by recent geopolitical events and also issues around energy transition. It is clear that countries must secure security of energy supply to their countries.
He explained that the whole process of energy transition revolves around funding, and as such, Africa needs the existing resources to generate funds to enable it to transit. On gas development and utilization, the group CEO stated that NNPC Limited's focus is to build its capacity to deliver gas to the domestic market and beyond. He disclosed that the final investment decision FID for the $25 billion Nigeria-Morocco gas pipeline project will be made by December 2024.
About $25 billion.
Right. And is the financing?
Financing largely within sight, yes.
Right.
Substantial commitments.
So that will be a very big commitment.
It is.
Yeah. So that's, and by the end of the year?
By the end of the year.
Yeah. So, and do you see opportunities to expand Nigeria's role in LNG, or is that, with the U.S. and with Qatar and other developments, is that opportunity still there?
Yeah. Obviously, yes. Today, we're building the 7th train, which will likely double our current capacity in the NLNG. And also, we're working on 2 other projects. One is a fixed LNG project. I don't want to mention there's some NDA around it, but I know that we've reached an advanced state of commitment so that we can bring back another 12 million tons facility in the country.
The Executive Vice President Upstream, Mrs. Orishameyiwa Eison, also spoke at a panel session with the theme, "What are the choices for upstream strategies?" where she reiterated the commitment of NNPC Limited towards utilizing Nigeria's abundant gas resources to trigger Nigeria's industrialization and economic development. She said the company is vigorously opening avenues for the development of gas infrastructure through various gas projects spread across the country.
So for NNPC, it's keen into the government's agenda of gas as a transition medium in the energy transition. And for us, we want to ensure that we develop not only the domestic gas market, but we also expand that to the regional play as well as go international as well. For domestic gas, it's really deepening the utilization of gas domestically for power, for industrialization, and ensuring that the entire country, feels the resource, and optimizes the use of the resource as well. NNPC spearheading the domestic gas penetration is working assiduously to design and open up the pathway for infrastructural gas development.
NNPC Limited was also represented at another panel session by the Executive Vice President, Gas, Power and New Energies, Mr. Olalekan Ogunleye. Addressing the panel with the theme Africa's Energy Future, Access, Investment and Sustainability, Ogunleye said under the current leadership of Mr. Mele Kyari, NNPC Limited has institutionalized the use of modern technology to drive its operations, a development that has created tremendous value for the company in its quest to compete with its global peers. He identified transparency, accountability, research, technology and innovation as key drivers of the ongoing transformation in the company.
In my view, is the focus on transparency and accountability. And so the NNPC leadership for over 5 years now has been pushing this STEP agenda, which focuses on transparency, accountability, performance, and excellence. And so we're setting a very high bar, and it's a journey that we're committed to. So that's important. For us, transparency and accountability is fundamental for our business. And we are consummating relationships with activist groups like the NIT, transparency organizations in Nigeria and outside the country. So that's very important. And the transparency also has a commercial component to it, because it then makes us attractive to partners. And it also helps us with attracting investment. And so that's fundamental.
On her part, the Special Advisor to the President on Energy, Mrs. Oluvehen, said affordability and accessibility are key factors to consider for Africa in the energy transition mix. The Special Advisor, who spoke during a panel session with the theme, Energizing Tomorrow, Charting a Successful Path for Africa's Energy Transition, noted that the decarbonization of existing sources of electricity and expansion of gas into the sector is ongoing in Nigeria.
And regional pools being, playing a pivotal role, and we see an expansion of gas across the continent and taking advantage of that in the electricity sector as we start to, until we completely integrate renewables into the electricity sector. When it comes to industrialization, we see gas displacing quite a bit when it comes to heavy industries, whether that's in steel manufacturing, whether that is in cement manufacturing, all the sort of heavy-duty industry that we need to build our infrastructure, on the continent, whether it's fertilizer and petrochemicals, including mining. As we're mining for more resources, we see heavy displacement of diesel, PMS, coal in South Africa with gas, until you can start to scale low-carbon technologies in developed economies and make them much more easier to adopt and affordable to adopt in African economies.
CERAWeek is one of the largest energy conferences in the world, drawing thousands of foremost global energy industry experts and a host of other corporate and government leaders from around the world annually to Houston, United States of America, for a week-long conversation on the future of energy. Organized by S&P Global, the conference has grown in recent years to accommodate new energy technologies and climate issues. The 2024 conference drew participants from over 90 countries and featured 1,400 speakers. The theme for this year's edition is Multidimensional Energy Transition, Markets, Climate, Technology and Geopolitics.
Industry players in the energy sector have renewed the call for a futuristic outlook on gas utilization as a new primary source of energy for Nigeria. This was the main thrust of discussions at the recent unveiling of the two books written by NNPC Limited's former Group Executive Director Downstream, Professor Billy Okoye. The books, titled Insights into Crude Oil Marketing and Dynamics of Petroleum Products Marketing, were unveiled by the Group Chief Executive Officer of NNPC Limited, Mr. Milikiari, at the International Conference Center, Abuja. Professor Billy Okoye is the Coordinator, Oil, Gas and Energy Marketing, University of Abuja Business School.
The launch of the twin books brought together the who is who in the nation's energy sector. Stakeholders present described the books as a fountain of knowledge and guide into the realities of the petroleum industry.
We recommend these books not only to Nigerians but also to the international community so that they can learn from what Nigeria has passed through and the struggles and the turbulence the past and present management of NNPC has been going through and is going through, just to keep your vehicles on the road. Sabili Okoye, when in NNPC, he has served and proven to be also a good mentor And that's what leadership is all about.
One of the chapters talk about transition from oil to gas to renewables. This is the future of the industry now. So don't be fixated on where we are today. Let's be a little bit more futuristic, because the world is moving and we should not be left behind.
As we think about oil, we must also think about new Nigeria. In Nigeria, in environmentally beautiful, environmentally healthy society. In Nigeria, where we want to diversify our economy. You can still do oil and still diversify. And I know most of the theories we're going to be reading in this book is going to tell us how oil can be not a cause, but oil can eventually be one of the greatest blessings for Nigeria.
For the man in the limelight, Professor Billy Okoye, he alluded the success of the books to the rich experiences gathered over his 30 years of research and service in the oil and gas industry. He expressed hope that the write-ups will equip readers with a comprehensive framework for navigating the complexities of the energy industry.
I've been privileged to witness firsthand the immense impact of the petroleum industry on our global economy, environment, and daily lives. Drawing from hands-on practical experience, spanning the commercial world of upstream, midstream, and downstream sectors of the industry, I've endeavored to distill its complexities into accessible and informative resources for professionals, academics, and enthusiasts alike.
The group CEO of NNPC Limited was the chairman of the occasion. Professor Billy Okoye congratulated NNPC Limited for the path of growth taken in achieving consistent profitability away from the state of losses recorded in the past. The launch of the books, authored by the former NNPC Group Executive Director, is viewed by industry players as a veritable tool that aligns with the world's journey of innovations, growth, and collaboration, which unlocks the intricacies in the energy sector.
We are the largest single asset holder in Africa's oil and gas industry and poised to be the dynamic global energy company of choice. We are constantly innovating to be the prime company for energy sufficiency. We are NNPC Limited, energy for today, energy for tomorrow.
Up next is an update on the gains recorded in the war against crude oil theft and pipeline vandalism.
The war on crude oil theft is on, and the industry-wide security collaboration on hydrocarbon infrastructure continues to record remarkable progress. Between the 16th and 22nd of March 2024, a total of 136 incidents were recorded across several locations in the Niger Delta region. In Soku River State, operatives of Tanteta Security Services disconnect a valve connected to an illegal pipeline underwater. The pipeline, which belongs to Shell Petroleum, is a condensate line from Soku to Sangbat in River State. In the past week, 37 illegal connections to pipelines were disconnected in River State, Bayelsa, and Abia State. At Idama Jacket in Belema, River State, the special squad of Tanteta Security Services dislodged a hose connected to an oil jacket by oil thieves. 29 illegal refineries were destroyed across several locations in the Niger Delta. In Obokofia and Onosi in Imo State, Obuzo in Abia State, and Okoloma in River State, the scenario is the same. In Tebidaba, Bayelsa State, however, a drone camera captures the trade of stolen crude from an oil pit in real time. Oil spills owing to pipeline vandalism were recorded in Abia and Delta states. While 13 vessel AIS infractions were flagged, 10 wooden boats conveying stolen crude were intercepted and confiscated in Rivers and Delta states. On land, 12 vehicles were arrested in Rivers, Akwa Ibom, Abia, and Delta state. In the ongoing war on crude oil theft, 8 illegal storage sites were discovered in drums, tanks, and oil pits in Imo State, Akwa Ibom, Delta,
Rivers, and Bayelsa State. 13 of these incidents took place in the deep blue water, 15 in the western region, 70 in the central region, and 38 in the eastern region. Between the 16th to 22nd of March 2024, 17 suspects were arrested. For NNPC Limited, there is no backing down on the war on crude oil theft until the menace is eradicated for good. To report crude oil theft or suspicious activities within your area, call the numbers on your screen now, or send an email to report@stopcrudetheft.com. Handsome rewards await the whistleblower. Do your part. Report oil theft today.
Still to come, NNPC Limited gets commendation for its support on professional managerial skills. Stay with us.
Introducing NNPC Foundation, established to set the pace for corporate social interventions in Nigeria and other key markets through capacity development programs, health-oriented initiatives, environmental sustainability, and providing access to energy. We are poised to empower and enrich the lives of Nigerians in a way that is sustainable, enduring, and impactful. We are not just another foundation. We are NNPC Foundation, creating a sustainable impact for a better tomorrow.
You're still watching Energy and You. The place of professional management in modern-day business cannot be overemphasized. This is not lost on the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, as it continuously gives maximum support to its staff in pursuit of their goals to become professional managers. This was buttressed during a recent handover and inauguration ceremony of the new leadership for the Nigerian Institute of Management NNPC chapter.
As a professional manager, we put service above self.
The new executive members of the Nigerian Institute of Management chartered NNPC chapter taking the oath of office after a free and fair election. The inauguration and handover ceremony took place in the corporate headquarters of NNPC Limited, with the chairman of the North Central Zone and chairman FCT branch in attendance. In her handover speech, the immediate past chairman of the NNPC Limited chapter, Hafsatu Abdugusau, called on the new executives to seek guidance from its members whilst leveraging on the support offered by NNPC Limited.
I will not end this speech without acknowledging our company, the NNPC Limited, for the massive support we enjoyed during our tenure by providing all the necessary resources we needed. That actually helped in us having a successful tenure. I encourage the new executives to continue leveraging on these resources for members' development.
The North Central Zonal Chairman of the Institute, Ibrahim Anas, commended NNPC Limited's chapter for rating best in the country as well as sustaining the growth of its members. He emphasized the role of professional managers in the attainment of an organization's overall goal.
Your coming on board is just like in less than 6 years, but the last annual National Management Conference, your chapter was rated as the best chapter in Nigeria. I think that worth commendation. Once you are a professional manager, you are expected to work professionally. It will minimize mistakes, error, corruption-free, attitudinal change to work, hard-working, dedication, anything you think of.
The transition ceremony from the old leadership to the new executive members of the NIM NNPC chapter went smoothly, with the certificates of election presented to each of the 8-member leadership. They will serve for a tenure of 2 years.
The replication of this smooth transition from the old executive to the new one, I'm not taking it lightly, because it could have been the other way around. We look forward to leadership that will promote the purpose of NNPC.
We want to thank the NNPC top management for most sincerely giving us the opportunity to serve in our quest for professionalism in management. Our journey ahead is one of shared vision and collective effort. We stand on the mantra of continuous improvement.
Whilst the ceremony lasted, various speakers underscored the need for a good succession plan to ensure the emergence of competent individuals nationwide who will lead the institute professionally and keep it afloat.
And this is where we say goodbye on the show today. Hope you enjoyed watching as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. If you missed any part of this episode or previous ones, you can catch up by scanning the QR code on your screen now. You can also visit us on all our social media handles and follow us for updates on activities of NNPC Limited. Let's do this again same time next week. I'm Egusa Egumbo. Take care.